For this issue of the Blast, we're talking about team collaboration. So we thought it was a great opportunity to try something we've never done before. So we're going to have our authors use 5 different Autodesk software programs and walk you through one project that they're working on from concept to completion. So let's let the authors tell you a little bit about what they'll be doing.
If I were going to hand a preliminary design off to my project architect who's going to then do the contract documents inside Revit, I might be working inside Formit to do my study model. So in this case, I've got the preliminary design of this duplex done as 2-dimensional AutoCAD drawings. They could have even been done in AutoCAD LT because they're simply 2-dimensional line drawings. And because Formit gives me the ability to open a DWG file as a native file format that's supported inside of Formit, I can open that AutoCAD drawing in Formit and use it as the basis for then sketching the 3-dimensional geometry to develop the conceptual design shapes that I'm then going to use to establish the various roof lines and any other design details that I want in my preliminary design. And the nice thing about using Formit as a design tool as opposed to something like SketchUp, let's say, is that I don't have to do anything special to be able to get that Formit model into Revit. There's tools in Revit to open a Formit model or import a Formit model directly into Revit. And then, of course, once you've got the Formit model in Revit, you can simply use the tools on the masking ribbon to start converting floors, walls, and roofs that are in Formit into floors, walls, and roofs that are native Revit components.
Yeah, exactly, David. So as David mentioned, you can take a Formit model to Revit. All you really need is the Formit converter. It's a simple add-in for Revit that you can go grab, and then you can grab that Formit model, and it'll come into Revit as a conceptual mass. And then, like David said, you can start placing native Revit elements on those faces, and then begin the design process to create the building model inside of Revit. And that's when you really need the full design team inside of Revit. And that's where you need to enable work sharing. And one of the best ways to do that is by using the Collaboration for Revit service. That's a cloud-based service. So Katie, I'll let you jump in and talk about C4R.
Collaboration for Revit enables multiple companies or companies with multiple locations to work on a model at the same time for instant feedback and synchronization in the BIM cloud. So implementing C4R in your workflow can be very beneficial, even if you're just a small firm or even if it's just a small project, because it unifies data and it unifies the entire design team, which can improve the flow of communication.
So once you get to later stages in the design, that's when you really want to start to focus on visualization. And now there are some things you can do inside of Revit, and there's even Revit Live, but if you want to take it to the next level, you can export out your Revit model to 3ds Max.
So you can take the Revit file, and the Revit file, the nice thing about it is that it's a complete file. You can take that Revit file and import that or link it into 3ds Max. The nice thing about the link is it's live, so if the file is updated in Revit, that file can then be updated in 3ds Max. Bring that into 3ds Max, enhance it, add animation, add things like fountains or cars moving around or people walking. You can even go in and work on the materials to make them even higher quality materials than you would get out of Revit. Since 3ds Max brings in the lighting, the sunlight, and all of the materials, it makes it easy to work with. So you have the base file, bring that in, and you can take it and render it with either Art or the new Arnold renderer that's in 3ds Max.